Thank you for coming to see me this morning as with the news that Pope Leo XIV had appointed me to be the diocesan bishop for the Diocese of San Diego. It's such a great news for me as a bishop to be able to stay at home diocese and to serve the Diocese of San Diego as a bishop, as an ordinary bishop, knowing that I had started my vocation here over 31 years ago in the diocese, and to serve God's people as a priest, as auxiliary bishop, and now today Pope Leo had appointed me to be the ordinary bishop for the Diocese of San Diego. Such a thrill for me when our apostolic nuncio, Christoph Pierre, who gave me a call, and I picked up the phone, and I went into my office, and I said, "Hello, how are you, Cardinal?" And he said, "Are you by yourself?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And I knew something is coming, and I got nervous. I'm sure something he's going to say, and sure he did. He said that Pope Leo XIV had appointed to be the Bishop of San Diego, and in my heart, and I talked to myself, it's a great news that I get to stay home in my own diocese. And so with that, I've been very grateful to God. I'm grateful to the diocese with the fact that to follow after Cardinal McElroy, who had been here for 10 years and had laid the groundwork for us in the diocese, has setting things up that now we continue to implement the vision that he had laid the ground for all of us, which is following the vision of Pope Francis, who really pushed for the synodality, and for our diocese that we continue to implement that as now the Cardinal is serving in the Diocese of Washington, D.C. And so I'm very grateful. He had mentored me over the years that I had been working with him, at least 8 of those years that I get to see him closely at work, how he had set this up, how he had worked with the people of God in the diocese. So I'm very, very grateful for that, along with the 2 auxiliary bishops that we have here as well, Bishop Ramon and Bishop Felipe. Working with the 2 bishops as a team is such a wonderful experience, as well with the staff, Shirley and Marioli, who had been as a chancellor and a CFO for the diocese. So we work as a team, and it has been a wonderful experience so far for me, and I hope that continue to happen in our diocese through the process of synodality, where we listen to each other, we dialogue, and we implement or advance forward with our mission to evangelize and to help others to encounter Christ in our society today. And that is the mission that we see here in our diocese, and hopefully that will come to fruition as time goes on.
Bishop-elect, can you confirm whether you're the first Vietnamese American bishop or the first Vietnamese-born bishop in America?
I'm the first Vietnamese bishop, ordinary bishop in the United States.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you?
It's a wonderful news to know that Vietnamese American and representing my heritage to the United States, and hopefully as a church we come to recognize multicultural in the country, that we can all come together, celebrate our faith, united in Christ in this country. And I believe if we can do that, we will be such a sign of the beacons of lights, the beacons of hope for our country and for our society. And we hope that can generate throughout the world, because this country consists of many race, ethnics, and languages. But if we can come together as a people, and for us as particularly Catholics, in this diocese we have 22 ethnic communities, and on the Pentecost celebration, we come together as a people of God celebrating. It's such a beautiful sign of unity as church, as a people, as a human family, that we are able to come to be together.
And did Cardinal McElroy put his finger on the thumb or influence Pope Leo to choose you, do you think?
That's possible. I think with his voice, I'm sure he has some sort of a thumb on that. Yeah.
I remember, my memory is that when Cardinal McElroy asked you to be an auxiliary bishop, there was part of you that was a little apprehensive to leave the life that you had known. Is any part of you right now apprehensive or nervous or about this new road you're going down?
Yeah. When I became an auxiliary bishop, I was anxious, but with this appointment, knowing that I'm at home in my diocese, it is so assuring and feeling at peace with what I'm doing and being with the people that I had known over the years. So it's been a great news and a very comforting news for me to know that I get to stay in my own diocese. Yeah.
I was also curious because I saw that photo of you with Pope Leo when he was still a cardinal. Did you meet him for the first time in Rome during your auxiliary bishop, the process of becoming,
Yes, that was my first time meeting Pope Leo. At the time was Cardinal Prevost, and at the new bishop workshop. There, I get a chance to know now Pope Leo XIV. He has this wonderful kindness, compassionate, quiet, reserved, but very mindful and very observant of the needs of the people. At least when we were there as a class, those he might be discreet, but yet he's very observant to all the bishops, the new bishops there at the time. So I thought that was wonderful qualities that he has, and it will serve him well being a pope. Yeah.
I have more questions, but do others want to jump in? I'll keep going. Strap in, we got hours. I also wanted to ask, so obviously the diocese is facing many challenges. There's the ongoing sexual abuse negotiations. I'm just curious if you wanted to weigh in on where your head is at on any of that, of victims and
we bishops at the time Cardinal had an opportunity to hear some of the testimonies of our survivors or victims of sexual abuse by clergy. Just to hear the people sharing their stories is very painful that I had heard. And we, as a diocese, we now had gone into what we strive to do with the mediation to settle whatever it needed to be done to be helpful to our survivors, as well as to accomplish the needs of the mission of our church, continue to evangelize for God's people in our world today. But I hope with the process that we, like Cardinal McElroy, undertake, continue and hopefully will come to closure soon. That's what we hope, and the hope is for the good of our survivors, victims, and so that's the need. Mm-hmm.
Winding it down, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
Bishop-elect,
Mm-hmm.
Cardinal McElroy, when he was bishop, held a press conference, whatever, and a meeting here in this room many years ago about the environmental crisis and the climate crisis. And he's also, Cardinal McElroy has been very outspoken on how the abortion issue, although important to the church, should not be the preeminent, overriding, deciding issue. Do you agree that the abortion issue is not the preeminent issue for the church, or your
Life is important from the beginning to the end, and that's no question. And we need to look at the whole spectrum. It's not that it's not important or the other is important, but to consider all that as life that we need to take into consideration, and what Cardinal McElroy had processed his thought, I believe is very, very good. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
When did you get the call this morning about the appointment?
Well, actually, I got the call a week before, and the announcement came today.
Okay.
Came out today. So I had to keep quiet for a few days. So it was kind of hard, but I had to keep it quiet.
The date that you were informed?
It was May 14th.
And where were you specifically? Were you in the diocesan headquarters?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was here up in my office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to close my door.
And
Yeah.
this is a call from a cardinal in Rome?
Yeah, Cardinal Christoph Pierre, who is the apostolic nuncio for the United States, but it happened that he was in Rome as he prepared and to celebrate the installation of Pope Leo XIV.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So are we done? We're good?
Is that good enough?
Yeah, I may think of other stuff, but I can always ping you
Yeah,
again.
do you have another question? Or?
Let me just, I guess the only other thing I would ask, is there anything that you think you would do differently from Cardinal McElroy, even if it's just a different personality approach or a different vision? Yeah, any differences that you see?
I believe what he had laying ground for us in the diocese is wonderful. What we were implementing of the things that he had put it together, like Synod of Family, Synod of Youth and Young Adults, because of the synodality had taken a lot of time. Now we want to implement those two synods together, incorporate into the synodalities, and implementing that would lead to something different than what Cardinal McElroy had perhaps anticipated.
And
Yeah.
Cardinal McElroy has been perceived or portrayed as a member of the left-wing part of the church, whereas the right wing has been attacking him. I hope you don't get attacked in the same way, but are you concerned about how you might be criticized by the left wing by the right wing of the church?
I hope that people can remember me or see me as a person who stay focused on Christ, and we move forward. And life is very important, and so it's important that we need to pay attention and stay focused on how we take care of the people of God in our life, in our society today. Mm-hmm. Thank you.